The first car flashed its lights at me just outside of town. I didn't think much of it. It was late, close to midnight, and I'd already been driving for almost 3 hours after visiting my sister. The road I took home was a long 2-lane highway that cut through farmland and patches of dense trees. No streetlights, no houses, just asphalt, darkness, and the steady hum of my tires. I assumed the driver was warning me about a cop or maybe an animal ahead. People do that out here. I gave a polite flashback and kept driving. Then the second car did it. High beams, 2 quick flashes, slowed slightly as it passed me, like the driver wanted to make sure I noticed. That one gave me pause. I checked my dashboard. Headlights were on. Nothing blinking. No warning lights. I even cracked my window, half expecting to smell something burning. Everything seemed normal. A few minutes later, a third car approached from the opposite direction. As it passed, the driver leaned forward, face lit by the dashboard glow, and flashed their lights aggressively. 4, maybe 5 times in a row. That's when my stomach tightened. I started running through possibilities. Maybe one of my headlights was out. Maybe my brights were accidentally on. I flipped them off and back on. Normal. I checked my mirrors, craning my neck to catch a reflection of the rear lights bouncing off road signs. Nothing looked wrong. Still, the uneasy feeling stuck with me. The road stretched ahead like a dark tunnel. Trees pressed close on both sides now, swallowing any moonlight. My phone had lost signal miles back, and the radio was nothing but static. I turned it off, suddenly aware of how loud the silence was. The fourth car came 10 minutes later. This one slowed almost to a crawl as it passed. The driver rolled their window down and shouted something, but the words were torn away by the wind. Then, flash, flash, high beams straight into my eyes. I felt my pulse jump. I considered turning around, but the last town was far behind me, and I knew this road well, or at least I thought I did. I told myself people were just being weird. Rural drivers could be paranoid. Maybe there was something ahead they were trying to warn me about. I slowed down. That's when I noticed it. A shape in my rearview mirror. At first I thought it was just the darkness playing tricks on me. But as my eyes adjusted, I realized there was something hanging from the back of my car. Low, almost dragging. I felt a cold rush sweep through my chest. I slowed further, leaning forward, trying to get a better angle. The shape swayed gently with the motion of the car, catching the faint reflection of my taillights. Fabric. No, hair. I slammed the brakes. The car skidded to a stop. Gravel crunching beneath the tires. My heart pounded so hard I could hear it in my ears. For a moment, I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Then I forced myself to open the door. The night air hit me like ice. I stepped out, hands shaking, and walked toward the back of the car. There was nothing there. No fabric, no hair, nothing dragging. Just the quiet road and my own shadow stretching out under the dim glow of my taillights. I let out a shaky laugh, trying to calm myself down. Stress, fatigue, that's all it was. I'd imagined it. I got back in and pulled onto the road again. Less than a minute later, another car passed. This time, the driver didn't flash their lights. They held them steady. High beams locked on me the entire time they passed, illuminating the inside of my car like an interrogation room. I caught a glimpse of their face, pale, wide-eyed, mouth hanging open in something that looked like fear. As soon as they passed, they laid on the horn. That's when I noticed the sound, a faint scraping. It was coming from beneath my car, slow, rhythmic, like something brushing against the asphalt. I whispered, "No," without realizing I'd said it out loud. My hands clenched the steering wheel as panic crept up my spine. I didn't want to stop again. I didn't want to look, but the scraping grew louder, more insistent, matching my speed, no matter how much I accelerated. Then my phone buzzed. One bar of signal flickered to life, just long enough for a text to come through. Unknown number, stop the car, check the back. Do not keep driving. My breath caught. Another message followed almost immediately. Unknown number, it's holding on. I screamed and hit the brakes again, this time throwing the car into park, before it had fully stopped. I jumped out, nearly slipping as my shoes hit loose gravel. The scraping stopped. I stood frozen, staring at the back of my car. Slowly, something moved. A hand slid into view from beneath the bumper. It was pale, fingers too long, nails blackened and cracked. It tightened its grip on the metal, knuckles bending at angles that made my stomach turn. Then a face followed. A man's face, if you could call it that. His eyes were wide and glassy, fixed directly on me. His mouth stretched into a grin that was far too big. lips pulled back to reveal teeth worn down, like they'd been ground against stone. He spoke in a dry, rasping voice. "They tried to warn you." I ran. I didn't think. I didn't look back. I bolted into the trees, branches tearing at my arms, my legs burning as I crashed through the underbrush. Behind me, I heard the scrape again, faster now, followed by wet, uneven footsteps. I don't remember how long I ran. I don't remember collapsing onto the road, or the sound of another car screeching to a halt. I woke up in a hospital. The police told me they found my car abandoned on the highway. No signs of a struggle. No damage underneath. No fingerprints except my own. They said multiple drivers had called in reports about something hanging off a vehicle, but by the time officers arrived, there was nothing there. No one could explain the messages on my phone. The number didn't exist. I don't drive that road anymore. But sometimes, late at night when traffic is light, and the world feels too quiet, I'll see a car coming toward me. And just before it passes, the driver will start flashing their lights. Not at me, behind me.